On today's edition of The Front Row, we are at the studios of Lubbock Public Media, and our special guest on the program is Lubbock's favorite son, David Gaschen. David, welcome to the program. It's great to be with you.
Thank you so much, Clint. Thanks for having me. I'm really looking forward to talking to you today.
Well, you know, David, people probably realize that you've been around so long to do so many things. You and I went to school together. We've been friends for a long, long time, and I'm just so happy that we're together today. And I want to talk to you specifically about a program that you're giving in Lubbock at the end of this week. Tell us about it.
Well, it's on February 15th at the Cactus Theater, and it's a Valentine's themed concert. It's all love songs, and which I, as you know, specialize in. But it will be a very nice combo of songs that have to do with love, that different types of love, different forms of love, how you can go around and live in this world and survive is because of love, and that's why I love singing about it. So I'm doing an entire different combo of all kinds of songs. I'll be singing some Broadway, of course. I'll be singing Jason Robert Brown. I'll be singing, and I'm throwing in some pop songs, a little Michael Bublé, a little Nat King Cole, a little Dan Fogelberg, and of course, I can't go to Lubbock without singing the music of the night from the Phantom of the Opera. I think I would be put on a, on the first train out if I didn't sing music of the night from Phantom of the Opera, which, by the way, you were the first person to ever play for me back when we were in college. I thought I'd bring that up, and it was played beautifully then, and still now. And I'm singing a little bit of Rodgers and Hammerstein, Lerner and Lowe, some Harry Connick Jr. I'm even throwing in a few pop songs, and maybe a country song. Who knows?
Wow.
It will be fun, but it's all about the existence of the greatest gift in the world, which is love. And there's nothing like coming back home to sing in Lubbock. I loved growing up in Lubbock, and to fill you up with even more air, Clint, you were a big part of my college experience and what I loved about college, about going to Texas Tech. We sat next to each other in choir. You played for my lessons. You played for all of my concerts while I was at Tech, and I'm the luckiest man in the world to be your friend. But the thing about Lubbock is that it never gets old coming back. It's not like it's a chore to come back to Lubbock, because there's so many beautiful memories with so many people and so many fond memories of Texas Tech. And I've always been treated so well when I come back. I'm treated like a king. I'm just so lucky to have had the opportunity to be from Lubbock, first of all, and then to come back to the nicest people in the world. So,
Well, David, Lubbock feels exactly the same way about you. I can tell you that's for sure. And just on a personal note, the years that we were together in school, playing for you, sitting next to you in choir and singing with you, literally one voice, it was so much fun. The privilege of a lifetime for me, that's for sure.
oh yeah, right back at you, my friend. I would have never passed choir if it wasn't for you. It's hard to fail choir, but I could have. Thank God for your cyber.
But back to your concert. This would be a perfect Valentine's date, right?
Oh, it's perfect. It's perfect. It's intimate. It's at the Cactus Theater. It's starts at 7:30, so you can either go out before and have a bite, or it'll end early enough if you want to get a late snack afterward, somewhere in the Depot District there. There's anybody can come too. It can be it's a family thing. I don't do anything that's not family oriented. And the thing that I always love is to tell stories to people while I sing. And these stories will ring the bell of remembrance for these people and these couples that come. It will make you realize really what you appreciate most about your love, your partner in crime, your partner for life. It will make you realize that really that's all that really matters in this world. With all the stuff going around in this country and in this world right now, and all the hate it seems like, and all all the stuff that everybody's picking sides. I think there's nothing that unites people more than love.
That's a great sentiment. And that's why so many people love you, David. You have such a wonderful attitude and you bring people together so well through the performance of music that you do. Tell me a little bit, David, just for folks who would love to sort of fill in the blanks and fill in the time. After you graduated from Texas Tech, what did life have for you? How did you move forward? What did you do?
Well, I graduated in 93. In the summer of 93, I got my last class I had to take, which was German. Jawohl. But after that, I moved directly to Chicago, and I worked in Chicago anywhere from 5 to 7 jobs at a time, trying to make it, trying to be an actor and a singer. And then about 6 months, I got engaged while I was in Chicago, and about 6 months before my wedding, I got offered the Phantom in Basel, Switzerland. And actually not 6 months, 6 weeks before I got married. So my wife was, Jeannie was very surprised that we were going to be moving to Switzerland, but she was excited. And I got offered the chorus part in Phantom, which is a swing. I covered all the male chorus parts, and I was cast as the Phantom alternate. So I had one show a week my first year as the Phantom, and then covered the Phantom when he was sick. So I did a ton of shows in my first year as the Phantom. I probably did somewhere around 200 or 300 that first year. So then after that, I went to Hamburg, Germany, and sang as the Phantom in Hamburg, Germany for 2 years.
I saw
And
you.
then, yeah, you did with Sue Arnold. I'll never
Yes,
forget it.
singing
Yeah,
the
you
Phantom
guys
in German. I loved it.
Yeah. And that I think it's so funny because I remember coming in the choir thinking, Clint, can you help me out here? Why am I going to use musical theater in German ever? And you're like, just do it, David. Just do it. You can get out of here. And I was like, okay. First big job was German in the biggest role in musical theater. And I had so many friends like you and Sue that came over, and so many friends of mine from high school came to visit. It was wonderful. And then after that 2-year stint there in Hamburg, we moved back to New York. And as God would bless me again in 1999, 3 days after I moved back with Jeannie, I got offered an audition for Phantom on Broadway. One of the chorus members was leaving to go on the tour, and he was a Phantom cover, and I went and auditioned, and they gave it to me. So I became a Phantom cover for about 5 years, almost 6 years at Phantom on Broadway. And then once they realized that I was a swing in Germany, in Switzerland, they started adding roles to my contract, because just in case someone got sick, I would be like the in-house swing or whatever. And then they added, I was teasing the Piangi, which the first Piangi is the comic relief tenor, right? He comes out and sings this high C is the first thing that he does when he comes out. And I was teasing him in a rehearsal and trying to imitate him. And the conductor looked up at me like, I looked at him and said, don't even think about adding Piangi to my list. 3 weeks later, I was Piangi for a week. So I picked my first time to sing a high C. As you know how much I love high Cs, Clint. But I picked my first time to sing a public high C on Broadway in front of 1,700 people.
I remember when you texted me about that. I remember you were like, what in the world? What am I doing?
Clint, help me. I need you. Sing off the side of the stage. But it was great. And of course Mr. Gillis helped me with it, and he coached me through it, and it was a wonderful thing. And I ended up doing a ton of Piangis as well. It was a great role to have. It was comic relief. It wasn't so intense as the Phantom. I could tell people I could do a week of Piangis and be more tired after 2 Phantoms.
Right.
Because Phantom was such an intense role, but Piangi was the fun fat guy.
You mentioned John Gillis. He was a very seminal person in your life, in your musical education, right?
Yes, he was. John Gillis and Mary Gillis. John Gillis was my voice teacher from when I was 18 until today. I've never had another voice teacher. And of course, he passed a couple of years ago that was crushing, but what a wonderful man he was. I mean, he was an angel. He really took me under his wing, and he knew that I didn't come from a musical background. He didn't, you know, but he knew that I had some type of talent that could possibly go forward. And he kept gently nudging me towards doing that, right? I think you were probably on his tag team. But he gently kept nudging me to do it. And when I switched, it was the best thing I ever did. To this day, I totally believe that was a total God thing, that God put John Gillis in my way when I was 18 and auditioned for Lubbock Summer Rep, and I got to meet him then. He was not only a excellent, incredible artist in his own right, and an incredible singer, an incredible actor, but he was an incredible teacher. He really knew how to explain to me in a way that I could understand how to sing. You know, how to sing, and not just sing, but sing in a very, very healthy way. He and Mrs. Gillis were both very, very, very concerned about vocal health. And because of them, 30 years later, I'm still singing.
You sound like great, absolutely.
And yeah, I haven't, I got a little bit more gray hair, but the vocal cords are there, he was, not only that, it was almost like a father figure. I had a wonderful dad, as you know, John Gaschen, but he kind of took me under his wing and was very patient with me. He was very patient he knew I wanted to do musical theater. He just wanted to make sure that my voice was produced in the best way possible to survive 8 shows a week on Broadway.
Right.
And he did. And Mrs. Gillis teamed in with him and helped me out. And I can't be more thankful for what John Gillis did for me.
Right. Two very great people, and they certainly had a great student. And people can hear your voice in prime condition giving a Valentine's concert at the Cactus Theater. Tell us again about that.
It's Saturday.
Oh, sorry, Saturday. Yeah,
it's the 15th. Yeah. So the 15th, I'll be singing. It's called, the name of the concert is All You Need Is Love, but I will not be singing a Beatles song. So there it is. I may just pop it out at the end, a cappella for the Church of Christ folk. But I will be singing numerous songs. I'll give you a little list of what's going on. I'm opening up with a big band number, and then I'm singing a Michael Bublé number. Then the 2 or 3 left on the first half, I'm singing Younger Than Springtime from Rodgers and Hammerstein, and then Almost Like Being in Love from Lerner and Lowe from Brigadoon, and then ending the first half on the music of the night, Andrew Lloyd Webber's The Phantom of the Opera. And then the second one is a little bit more contemporary music. I've got 2 musical theater songs and a couple pop songs, and Larry Landusky is playing for me this weekend, and he always plays a solo in the middle of the concert. He usually mixes a hymn and a classical piece and melds them together in a beautiful way. I mean, as you know, Larry he's
fantastic.
Incredible pianist and a wonderful friend of mine. And then, I got maybe an encore if enough people stand up. I'll get them standing somehow.
May as well plan on it, David.
It'll be a fun evening that I get to tell stories in between the songs, and I get to tell stories through the song, and I think it will just rekindle all of the love that you have for the people you're going to bring.
Great. That's Saturday night at the Cactus Theater. How can people get tickets? Do you have that information?
Yes. You can go to www.cactustheater.com. And I should be, as it opens up, I should be one of the first 2 concerts that they have listed. You'll see my head with hearts around it, like I feel like Elvis or something, but it's my heart, it's my head. And then you just click for tickets, and you can either pay through Eventbrite, or you can call the Cactus Theater at 806-762-3233. And you can order tickets that way if you want to order over the phone. It's just so easy to order online. It's through eventbrite.com that they use. And it's really easy to order online. You'll be able to pick whatever seat you want. They'll show you the whole theater and what seats that you want to pick that are left. So I appreciate it if if you're not doing anything Saturday, I would love to see everybody out there, old friends, new friends. I think you'll really enjoy it. I'm really excited to perform a whole new set of songs that, other than the music of the night, I haven't done in Lubbock in a very, very long time or ever. So it's a brand new set of love songs. So
Great. David Gaschen in concert this Saturday evening at the Cactus Theater. David, it's what a pleasure it is to connect up with you again and talk to you. And thank you so much for being our guest on the front row today.
thank you so much, Clint. God bless you all.